All right, folks, I think we can go ahead and get started. Today is July 10, 2025. This is the meeting of the Kubernetes Storage Special Interest Group. As a reminder, this meeting is public, recorded, and posted on YouTube. We are in the 134 release cycle. Um, and today is July 10th, so we're about midway through the cycle here. The upcoming milestone to be aware of is the code freeze, which is happening on the 25th of the month. So if you're working on a feature, that's the date to be aware of in terms of the code freeze. And then followed by that, there will be a docs deadline, a docs freeze, and then the final release on the 27th of August. If you have anything that you want to add to the agenda, please feel free to add to this document. You can find the link in your calendar invite. We are going to start with the planning spreadsheet and get an update on the items that we have committed to for 134. And let's go ahead and jump into that. So first item that we have is recovering from resize failure, moving this to GA. Let me actually see if I could freeze this. Okay. With that, do we have Hemant on the call?
Yeah. So yeah, the all the other PRs have been merged. There's a last PR pending for that bumps the feature. Jan was reviewing it, and then documentation placeholder PR is out. I intend to write a blog for it. I'll make a placeholder PR for that today. The deadline is Friday, I believe, for that.
And you mentioned you're going to create a blog placeholder as well.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Cool. Good progress. Thanks, Hemant. Next, we have volume group snapshot. Xing, do you have any updates on this one?
Yeah, there's a PR to update the V1 Data 2 API that's already submitted. And there are some follow-up PRs pending. And I have a placeholder blog PR.
Awesome. Thank you, Xing. Next, we have CSI volume health. Consider moving this to beta. Anyone have an update on this? Looks like we haven't had an update for a while.
Yeah, I don't have any update from my side. I don't know if Sunny, do you have any update from your side?
Yeah, no, I don't think we're targeting this now.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go ahead and scratch this for 134, and
Sure.
then we can come back and reintroduce it. Okay, we're going to skip over change block tracking and move to enable privilege containers for Windows to replace CSI proxy out of tree, targeting beta in 134. Any update on this one? Do we have Eddie by any chance?
Yep. So yeah, I don't think there's an update for this. The enhancement has been updated by Mauricio, and that needs to be merged.
Okay. Eddie, are you still helping with this, or is it mostly Mauricio driving it?
So we have all that we needed to do was update the requirements to be able to move this to GA.
Okay.
So we just needed to update the enhancement, and yeah.
Got it. Okay, so it looks like it's almost pretty much done then. Cool. Thank you for the update, Eddie. Next, we have volume attribute class. Sunny, do you want to give an update on this one?
Yeah, so I have a few PRs listed that requires review. One is the rollback case, and then the other one is uh, uh, the change of API in Kubernetes. I think these two are subjected to the code freeze.
Cool. Good progress. Thank you, Sunny. Next is CSI sidecar all on one. Looks like no update on that for a while. Anybody know if there's work being done here?
Yeah, I have talked to Marcel recently. We decide to make an announcement about this cap status after a few fix. Yeah, maybe we can target it to 135. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, maybe we need to ask John and Michelle to review this cap. Yeah.
Okay, I think that seems reasonable. I'll go ahead and scratch this for now, and we can reintroduce it for 135. I'll put a note here to move to 135.
Okay.
And in the meantime, we can continue the bug fixes and everything, so that should be okay. All right. Next, we have mutable CSI node allocatable property.
Yeah, so update on this. Yesterday, Jan brought up a suggested improvement about doing the descheduling in tree. So I'm actively looking at that. And then there's also a couple of PRs that need to be reviewed. One is on the external attacher. Docs and blog PR is also ready for review. And then the last one is the one for upgrading the feature gate. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah.
You said docs and the other was a blog, or
Yeah, docs and blog PR.
got it. Awesome. Thank you for the update on that, Eddie. Next is Cozy overall move to V1 Alpha 2. Any update on that?
So there is this cap update still needs reviews. So Saad, if you can help review that, that would be great.
Okay, let me take a note to do that.
Thanks.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Xing. Next, we have a volume expansion for stateful sets targeting 134. Any updates on this one? Come on, do you have any update on this one?
So the cap did not merge actually in time. So we'll try next release.
Okay, we'll push this to 135 then. And I'll make a note here. Move to 135. Cool. Thank you for that update. Next, we have CSI migration, Portworx GA in 133, remove feature gate and in-tree plugin in 136. So I think we don't need to track anything here for now. I'm going to go ahead and scratch that. Okay, next is the same thing. Always on our reclaim policy, remove feature gate in 136. So I'll go ahead and remove that as well. Next item is integrate CSI volume limits with autoscaler. Looks like KEP was not merged, moving to 135, so I'll put a note here. Okay. And looks like the next item is KEP not merged, needs node review, node side review. I imagine that one's the same situation, move to 135. Okay. All right, next item is replication relationship. Anybody have any update on this? Do we have Ben by any chance?
Ben said he can't join today.
Okay.
There is no update.
Okay,
I'm supposed to work on a doc, but I have not got a chance to work on that yet.
no worries. Thanks for that update, and hopefully we'll be able to get a status update from Ben next time. Next item is node readiness gate, which we work on with SIG node and SIG scheduling. Last status was KEP is submitted but not merged. Any update on this one? Okay, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to mark it as no update for now, and then we can see if AJ can join next time to give an update. We have mutable persistent volume node affinity as our last item here.
Yeah, I think we should need to move this to 135 too. Yeah. We got a discussion last week, and we still have some question to discuss. I have added this cap to today's agenda. Yeah, maybe we can talk about later.
Perfect. Sounds good. Thank you, Yingxi. I'll go ahead and remove it and mark this for move to 1.35. Okay. All right. And then before we go, I wanted to freeze one row to make this a little bit easier to read. All right. Now we can go ahead and switch back to our agenda. In terms of design reviews, Yingxi, I guess this is the one that you just mentioned. Do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, we talked about this cap last week, and in that meeting, we are going to redesign the adaptive optional design, which is we need to push we need to add the topology parameters into the RPC method. We need to get this new optional design reviewed. Yeah, that's the first thing. And the second thing is that we haven't got the conclusion last meeting that will this cap will block the VSE to graduate to GA. Yeah, this is the two questions need to be discussed. Yeah.
Have you updated your cap yet?
Yeah. We have updated it.
Yeah, so okay, it looks like Michelle is not here. Yeah, Michelle says he's going to take a look of your update and then we can look at it again because we wanted to kind of narrow down, right? If for chain topology, we'll narrow it down so that we'll see if we can still just move forward with moving the VSE feature to GA with this narrowed down definition. So I think that's what we need to do. Basically, we need to take a look of your cap again and see.
Yingxi, are you comfortable taking it offline and poking Michelle for?
Okay, well, I see there is another topic today, so we can review it offline. Yeah.
Okay. And if you get stuck, please just bring it back to this meeting and we'll continue the discussion here.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Yingxi. Next, Raphael. We have a new release of SIG storage lib external provisioner. I guess that's a question. Jan, you want to add your comment here?
I think this is copied from the last meeting or even the previous one. I think I released the latest version a few weeks ago. There were no updates in the library since then, so I guess this is done.
Okay, Raphael, are you on the call by any chance? Or anyone who is familiar with this question?
I also remember this was resolved last time.
Got it. Okay, hopefully this is already addressed then. Next question is from Shane. We're considering doing an AI gateway, a work group over in SIG networking. I think the link got dropped here. And we have a Slack channel for general discussion, generally discussing the technology. Many of the features of an AI gateway rely on vector databases. So we thought, so we were curious if there might be some interest from this group. Thank you, Shane, for sharing that. Looks like you're here. Do you want to
Yeah.
add comments?
So actually the channel didn't end up happening because now we officially put in the request because there were so many people that wanted it. We were like, we might as well get started on it. So there will be a channel, but it's not quite up yet. I have a couple links I can share here. Just give me 1 second because I thought I put links on the doc, but I don't see them there. So anyway, I'm Shane, by the way. I'm one of the leads on SIG Network. Last year we started building a sub-project that we took out of WG serving called the Gateway API Inference Extension. That extension or that project ends up being very, very much focused on like you could almost think it of as like the service-like routing, the final routing decision that optimizes routing decisions ultimately to model serving based on metrics and capabilities that are being advertised by a model serving framework. But it's very much in like the kind of the service sort of area. We haven't touched on much of like the route or gateway or kind of like whatever you want to call that, the front end sort of thing. This is very networking focused, but a lot of the features, I don't know if any of you are familiar with them, but a lot of the features tend to have the word semantic in them, and they use a vector database to do similarity search. And so we're talking about what other SIGs would be interested. We think SIG security for sure will be. And we thought the vector database angle might be something that you'd be interested in particular, just because so many of the features require.
Shane, are you still with us?
If we decide that we're actually going to. Oh, can you hear me right now? Something
I can hear you now.
went wrong for a second.
Yeah,
What
you
was I
cut out
last
for a bit.
saying before you lost me?
That the vector DB angle may be interesting to SIG storage folks.
Yeah. So I put some links in the Zoom chat if you want to kind of take a look. I'm not sure how interesting it is to all, but I thought it wouldn't hurt to just bring it up because the vector database angle on this is kind of huge. There's a lot of features that use semantic search basically to kind of make decisions about things like deciding what model you even want to route to, or finding the for a cache system, a semantic caching system, etc. But it has a storage angle to it. So not something I'm looking for an answer on or anything right now. We've made the second link I put in there. No, the first link I put in there is us actually making the request to make the working group. If you are interested, would very much love to just have even just +1s on the thread, like if it's something that sounds cool to you, because we'd like to get it up and started and see where we can go with it.
Awesome, cool. Thank you so much for coming by, Shane, and for that plug. Anybody on the call have a question for Shane about this, or since we have him,
So,
about anything else?
Saad, a few of us actually look at the original proposal that Shane is the third link, right? The Google Doc. Michelle, yeah, I look at it. It's just it looks very networking
It is.
focused. So that's why we're trying to see how can we add something that is related to storage. We haven't figured out what to add there. I think that's why we haven't, done more to that doc. But we definitely can, review that if anybody else
Yeah,
on this
just take a
call.
look. It absolutely is super networking focused. In fact, the only storage aspect I think would be if we wanted to create like some standard semantics around like vector databases and how you connect things to those. I don't know that there would be any other storage component to it. So it's a fair critique.
Cool. Anybody else on the call have any questions about this or anything else they want to ask Shane? All right. And anybody else on the call want to bring up any other items today? All right, then we will get a solid 30 minutes back in your day. Thanks a lot, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Take care, everyone. Thanks, Shane. Bye.